Welcome, Brandon Hayes. I'm here with a good friend of mine. Yo, Claudio. Claudio, right?
Yeah, right. Claudio, Claudio.
Claudio. Claudio, how are you doing, man?
I'm great, man. I'm feeling super good.
That's
Just
super
arrived
good to
back in
hear.
Berlin and yeah,
Yeah,
getting things together.
I wanna talk about Berlin. I wanna talk a lot about everything, but let me just get this out of the way. Listen to Claudio's new song Fallen on all streaming platforms. Great songs.
Thank you,
Follow
man.
Claudio on Instagram at Claudio Official, Clides Official.
Yeah, just
And
Clyde.
there's Clyde's. All right, great. And listen to my favorite song by him, Broken Parts, on all streaming platforms. Now, I love Broken Parts. I want to start right there.
Thank you,
It
man.
sounds like a song that can be a hit song on the radio. And when I first heard it, I kind of got a little bit of Ed Sheeran. Like I kind of thought about Ed Sheeran a little bit.
That's
Has
fun.
anyone ever told you that?
One friend of mine actually told me that. Yeah, yeah. Like most of like not that many, but one friend told me, "Man, this sounds like a cheer," and I was like, "Okay."
That wasn't your inspiration going behind the song, right?
Actually not. I don't even know which song was an inspiration. We were like in a session with two producers that we just met a night and it just happened really fast, but it just felt good and then it was there.
hmm Now, was that song about someone, or was just a song?
Well, to be honest, the song is like I felt like the emotion was really like there and we built the story, but for me it kind of felt like a combination of like a lot of experiences. So
hmm
we wrote the story and there was like many pictures going through our heads and we kind of built the song, but it felt really natural to me because I don't know, like it wasn't like a story that I could like apply to one specific person in my life, but it felt very real, kind of,
Do
which was
a
interesting.
lot of your songs, do they feel natural? Do they feel real after you record it?
So that's like kind of the difference to me because you write a lot of songs and you record them, but usually all of my songs that I write are really coming from a very real place. Either it's
hmm
like a real experience I just write about, or it's just like a feeling I kind of trying to express like in whatever way. So it's very important to me actually that it's real, like that it's real me.
Yeah.
Um, but that's how I kind of in the end when I hear the song, I feel like okay, there's like the spark or there's not the spark, and that's kind of how I decide if it's like good for me.
Now you're from Germany, but even listening to your songs, I don't really detect a German accent. I would never think that you were from Germany, even from
Yeah.
listening to your songs. Is that like on purpose, or is that just how you sing?
No, it's just like my dad is American actually. I'm half American.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Where is he from?
he's from Boston originally, but right now he used to live in New York a long time, but now he's in Portland, Maine.
Were you born in America? Or you was born in Germany?
I was born in Germany. I was living kind of all my life in Berlin, and I visited my dad sometimes, like once a year for a couple of weeks. But I grew up here.
How do you feel about America when you go down there? Is it beautiful, or some sites you don't like? It's better than
No,
Germany.
I love it to be honest. I mean, I'm happy here in Berlin totally, but I could totally imagine moving to the US. Every time I'm there, it's a great time for me. I love New York. New York City is such a amazing city.
Is your dream performing at some of the clubs in America? Like you just want to go down and, kind of release your music so they can get a better feel of who you are?
It's a difficult question because I never really got into performing that much yet. I've performed here in Berlin at some venues and stuff, but I really focused on just recording music and producing and writing songs. So it's a very I don't know. It still seems far away, but I'm very excited to actually start going on stages and performing and stuff. But I don't know any. I have nothing specific in my head like where I want to go. I'm just like I want to sing my music to people.
I think about because I know COVID-19 is just such, a setback. And I think if the Beatles were coming up during COVID-19,
Yeah,
they probably won't be as popular because they're out there performing like in Hamburg, Germany, and at these
yeah.
regular clubs and stuff, and they're trying to get their start. Are you really disappointed about everything that's going on, or do you feel like everything is perfectly aligned by the way you're dropping your singles?
That's really a good question because I felt like I was trying to have the mindset that everything's happening for a reason and it's supposed to happen that way. And we were actually gonna fly to New York and LA in March and have sessions and meet people and whatever, and it just got canceled because of COVID. And it was a setback, but I just told myself, okay, fuck it, you're just gonna stay in Berlin and do your stuff and be even better when you go there next time, you know. And
Where
that's what I'm trying. I'm just trying to make the best out of the situation.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
So what exactly in New York and LA were you gonna do? You were just gonna record and try to meet a bunch of people, just get a connection over there?
Well, we were talking to a few people. We were gonna have some sessions with Arcade. They like the
Mm-hmm.
publisher in New York City and in LA. We were just in connect. We just talked to a lot of people after Broken Hearts and also Lost was released. And yeah, we were actually gonna just meet in person all these people. Then in the end, we had like a lot of Zoom calls and stuff. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
yeah. That's the vibe now. But
Absolutely. Zoom is just everything. Are you more inspired by German artists or American artists?
totally by American artists, to be honest.
Totally American artists. Who are some of the artists that you're inspired by?
It's also difficult. I'm listening to like everything around. I started actually producing when I was 16 and EDM, and I started producing on my iPhone on GarageBand EDM, big house stuff and stuff like that. But I listen to everything. I listen to hip hop, to pop, to alternative, to whatever I like actually. And one of the artists that kind of shaped me, which made me kind of fall in love with pop, but also hip hop influences is Goody Grace. I don't know if you know him.
Hmm. Yeah.
I really loved his stuff when I discovered it, and I don't know. I listened a lot to G-Eazy lately. I listened to his
Hmm.
last album. I fucking love it.
Now
Um,
you said that
yeah,
producing at 16, but you started writing music about like 17, right?
yeah. Like my actually first songs, I think I wrote them when I was 17, but I picked up my phone and started writing, like doing some EDM stuff on my phone when I was 16, actually.
What made you want to do that transition from stop producing to focusing more on songwriting and singing?
I feel like it was one point when I realized like doing like instrumentals, EDM instrumentals is cool, but when you actually sing on it, then you have so much more opportunities. And then I just recorded myself on one song, and I wasn't really confident about my singing at all. But I showed it to my brother, to my friends, and they said, "Yeah, that's cool, man. You should just go for it." And that's how I kind of built up my confidence and actually got really into writing songs because there's so much I love about music. It wasn't like just EDM, but it was the only thing I felt comfortable in the beginning doing, and then slowly I built up my confidence and actually writing real songs and yeah, pursuing it as a career kind of.
I was gonna ask, the first song that you recorded, did you release it or was it just practice?
I mean, I planned on releasing it because always when I did something, I felt like, man, this is incredible, and I should drop it right now, or I should
Mm-hmm.
just make it good and stuff. Um, and actually, I think I posted it on SoundCloud and stuff, but I'm happy that I didn't really release it in a big manner because looking back, it wasn't my best song, but
What made
yeah.
it what made it bad? Was were you not like in tune with the beat? Were you not following it? Like what made it so bad?
Well, I feel like my vocals weren't the best on them. I mean, I basically recorded it with my phone, and it was like
Oh, okay.
I just produced it by myself and I recorded it by myself. And back then, I didn't know anything about production. I was just doing like intuitive stuff, and I don't think it's super bad, but it's not not as good as it could be, kind of, you know. Uh,
Yeah. I kind of understand. So at what point did you started to really like go to the studio and record?
um, that's also a good question, but I feel like it kind of all started with the Broken Part song because before I just recorded it. I did everything by myself at home. I recorded my demos, I wrote my songs, and I produced them, and they were all good, but they were like still kind of demo quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on a writing camp actually when we wrote Broken Parts, and we just did it all in one day, and we recorded, and they produced it, and it was done. And then it was kind of the starting point. Okay, we're gonna start with this one, and then yeah, actually like the second song, Lost, I wrote it back in Berlin here in February, and I met a producer that I really clicked with, and that I'm
Mm-hmm.
really happy to work with, and then we did like the whole EP together. That's gonna come out really soon.
How long does it take to write a song like Broken Parts?
It really depends, man. It's this one. It it took 4 hours, but
Really?
sometimes it really, yeah. We were in the session and we wrote broken parts, but sometimes I sit at a song for a week or for 2 weeks and it doesn't turn out as good. It's
Yeah, I
very
was gonna ask. I know some artists, they just write, when they're walking around, when they're thinking, they write a line in their notes. They'll probably like type a line, something, catchy in their notes. Do you kind of do that? Do you have like a whole notebook of just random lines that you're waiting to record for a song?
kind of, but I actually should do that more often because sometimes that's the thing. When I write a song for myself, I want it to be super real and I want it to be me, and I don't like coming up with random stuff. So actually, most songs I've written for myself are just like random ideas that come into my head real quick, and then I feel like, oh shit, I have to do something about it.
So
And
how
then I just sit on the piano and get like a draft and get this, and then slowly put it together.
I want to touch more about the piano. I want to know more about that. But what is your writing process? Like, do you just say, okay, you know what, tomorrow I'm gonna lock myself in a room, I'm just gonna think of stuff and just write it all out? Is that kind of what it is?
Sometimes it's so different. That's the thing. You never know what's gonna happen. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes I tell myself, okay, let's write a song right now. I'm starting with some chords or whatever, or I have one idea in my head. And sometimes, yeah, they're just chords. I try out some melodies, or sometimes there's like a lyrical line I have in my head. Okay, I want to write something about that and build it out as a concept or something. But the thing is that it really comes like you never know if it's gonna turn out great or not. You like, okay, this could be good or this could be good, and you get a feeling, okay, I should do something about this or I shouldn't. But it's so different. But yeah, I'm trying to. Sometimes I have like an inspired moment, and then I know, okay, I have to do something about that right now. So
Talk to me more about playing the piano. When you're bored, do you just start playing the piano and just start thinking of random things?
yeah, it's like playing the piano is just like a thing that I like when I have nothing to do. I'm just like, okay, let's play something. And sometimes I'm getting bored of my own stuff because I feel like, okay, I've played this too much and I'm not getting creative. But sometimes there's like an idea or just a vibe that I'm catching, and I'm like, okay, shit, that's really nice, and I haven't heard it like that before, and record that and write something about it. So it's like very often it's just like jamming around, improvising, playing some melodies, and then getting there somehow.
Who taught you how to play the piano?
I was like my parents are both classical musicians, so
Uh-huh.
I started taking lessons when I was 5. But to be honest, I never planned on becoming anything like a musician or something. I was like more into playing soccer or whatever.
Okay, so
And
soccer was the thing that you were mostly interested in.
yeah,
Because
when I
I
was
was
a
gonna
kid,
say, if you have two parents that like classical music, and they must have a real ear for music because classical music is great. I thought that was the motivation for music, just because you had two parents.
not at all, to be honest. I was like kind of fed with music my whole life because of
Hmm.
that. But I was forced to play the piano. I played the cello for a bit. I played the trumpet just to try stuff out. But I never really enjoyed it as my thing. And that's when I just started producing music because a friend of mine did it. I felt like, okay, I can really be creative here, and that gave me such a joy, and that's why I started, because it was kind of my thing. And then I like discovered my real passion for music, kind of. And but I'm thankful that I got the musical education when I was younger, even though maybe I
Yeah.
I didn't like it that much back then, but it kind of gave me the basics that I needed to actually do some to create music.
Yeah, I know that really helped you too. And you posted on Instagram. I want to talk about a post you did on Instagram. But do you feel like music really helped your mental state? Like if you didn't have music, you'll kind of be, I don't want to say like more depressed, but you wouldn't be
Yeah,
the same person you are.
no, so that's a good question because I feel like it's very like I can let go of my feelings kind of through music, because it's like, I don't know, you don't talk or I don't talk about my feelings that much with other people, and when
Yeah.
I'm like by myself or just expressing whatever it is, if I'm happy or if I'm feeling pain, if I play music and I can express it through that, it's just like I'm letting go of it, and that's why I love it so much, and that's why I'm a happy person, but I love singing sad songs because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
letting go of these thoughts that I kind of can't in another way, kind of.
Uh-huh. You posted on Instagram one day. You said it makes me sad but happy at the same time because it reminds me when I started doing what I'm doing, processing what I am feeling and sharing it like I can't in any other way. Might do
Yeah.
a full acoustic version soon.
Yeah.
Explain what was behind that post? What was the meaning behind that one?
I feel like when I did that post, I was kind of, I felt a little bit disconnected because I don't know, my I did like so much music lately, and I finished my whole EP and everything, but I've heard it too many times, and I'm waiting for everything to happen, and I kind of I lost the motivation for a moment. Like, why am I doing music? And I felt like, is the music I'm doing actually good, or what am I doing here? And then I just randomly played that song, which I wrote when I was 17,
Mm-hmm.
which was about I wrote it for my mom, and that was like a very emotional song for me. And playing that song really reminded me why I started doing this, because this was like pure emotion that I just processed there back then. And it kind of still made me sad playing that song because I remembered how I felt back then. It just gave me that feeling, even though it's like an old song and it's like 3 or 4 years ago, but it really took me back there. And but it also made me happy in that sense because I kind of remembered how I got here, because that was kind of the start, and it just made me, yeah, it was a huge flashback for me.
Now your mother's in Germany, right?
Yeah.
I guess you have a real close relationship. How far are you from each other? Do you see her often?
Yeah, I see her often. I'm at her place actually right now. I still live at her
Okay.
place.
Do you ever share your music with her? Like, hey, how does this sound? You think I should release it? Or you ever ask her for advice?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not actually asking her for advice that much when it comes to my music, because I just do my thing. But of course, I show her, and yeah, I'm just showing her, and I think she likes it.
Yeah, and that's great that she's a big motivation for
Yeah,
you.
she's very supportive, and she supported me in everything so far. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that you have songs dedicated to her. Do you have songs ever like dedicated to like a woman that you fell in love with or a woman that you think about?
All the time, man. It's like sometimes I feel like I shouldn't write love songs anymore because I do it way too much. But it's, yeah, it's the best way to process these thoughts. And most of the songs that I write about are like about one of the kind of a relationship. It could be a friend, it could be anyone. But yeah, I've written a lot of songs
How's
about
it?
about
Have
her.
you got your heart broken before?
Yeah, I did. I
Do
did.
you think about that moment when you write some of these songs?
Yes, I do. And right now I'm happy because I'm not heartbroken right now, and
Okay.
it's been a while. But actually, yeah, when I try to get like in such a mood to write such a song about love, about having a broken heart, then I try to get back into that state. What did it feel like? What were the details about it?
When was that relationship? When did you guys break up?
That was like already the last time I broke up with someone was over 1.5 years ago.
So you
And
was with someone for 1.5 years.
no, that was one. It's been I've been single for 1.5 years now, so
Oh,
that
okay.
was the last time. That was the last time I really felt shitty.
Uh-huh. Did she break up with you?
Yeah, she did.
Why
And
is that? I don't want to get too personal, but why is that? What happened? Like you're about to be this huge star with musician, like music wise. You know what I'm saying? Like what
I
happened?
wasn't back then, but it was just like I feel like it just went too fast, and she wasn't ready, and she wasn't feeling ready personally, and I understand it looking back, but back then it was a huge deal for me, and it was too much for her, and she just said bye.
Has she heard any of your songs? Like, listen, I heard this one and I really think this was about me. I appreciate it, something like that.
Well, yeah, she heard my songs. I don't know if she knows if it's about her. I feel like even that opening up that much, I feel like I write songs about a lot of people, and I don't even know if they know it's about them, and they don't even have to know. But
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you keep it a secret? You don't want to tell them like, hey, I wrote this song about you. Like
yeah,
you
a little
want to keep
bit, a
it
little bit,
secretive.
a little bit. I keep it very private, kind of. But I don't know.
So that would be the motivation behind every one of your songs. So every song you would say is about someone.
Yeah, yeah, not it could be about myself too, actually. But many songs I've written
What
are about.
song has been about yourself, or do you plan on releasing something about yourself?
I'm planning on releasing something, but also have you heard the Lost song?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually about myself, just feeling lost, man. Just having a lot of outside influences crashing in and kind of just going by the wind, but not really taking control. And that was just my personal feelings about my situation.
Did you feel like you had a lot of pressure on you when when you made that song? It was like I kind of just want to let go. Maybe I'll feel a little bit lighter. I'm feeling really heavy. Feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders.
Yeah, and it felt a little bit after. It felt a little bit right now, the past couple of months like that, because there was kind of a pressure of really because the first songs I've released went really good. They were really performing well, and people heard them. And now I'm feeling the pressure. What happens if I release my next songs and nothing happens about them? Then I'm like back at zero. But that's just the feeling I had, and I'm trying to let go of that really because I don't want to have negative thoughts. I'm trying to be positive all the time, and that's like my kind of key to success, just being positive. And
Yeah.
yeah,
But you have to admit, you got a pretty good fan base. Every time, you release something, you get positive feedback. You have
I
to
do,
admit
I
that,
do,
right?
I do. That's true, and I'm very grateful and leave something for others. And yeah, that's why I'm so grateful for anyone who's hearing the music.
Do you kind of feel like that's good and bad having that great feedback? Because you kind of feel like every time I'm gonna release something, I need to have that great feedback. Is that
I,
the pressure?
I felt that before. Right now, I'm really happy because I'm really excited about the music that's about to come out. These are like songs I've written in the last 2 years, and I'm just really happy to share them. But I felt that before when I released Broken Parts, or also when I released my very, very first song like 2 years ago. That was like I released that and people responded good to it, but then I felt like, oh shit, man, now you gotta keep up with it. You gotta,
Hmm.
you can't let them down.
So talk to me where you're at musically. What's coming up next? Is it more singles? Is it you gonna have sort of a project?
I do have a project coming up. There's an EP coming up. There's no certain release date yet, but first we're gonna keep releasing singles. There are two more singles at least before the
Hmm.
EP will drop. But yeah, it's not even official yet when the EP is gonna be released. But the songs are ready, and yeah, right now we're
Who
about to shoot music videos to get some more promo material.
who is your advisor when it comes to your music? Like who's steering you on what to do or what not to do?
Well, I'm working with a manager and a management, so we're really close, and yeah, just we're like a team. And I released the last songs over them, but so yeah, he's like kind of a mentor and an advisor, telling me what to do and what not to do. But musically, I'm very, I have like full creative control over my projects, to be honest. So I'm doing what I feel like and what I'm inspired by right now. So that changes a lot, but I can express myself the way I want to.
Does your manager, he doesn't have like full control? If you show him a song, he's like, I'm not really feeling it, but you love it. You can
Yeah,
still put it out though, right?
yeah, that's the thing. So back in the beginning when we started working together, I showed him a couple of songs, and he told me which he thought were the best, and I told him which I felt the most. But he was very supportive and said, "Yeah, we can do it your way. Do what you feel like doing."
Other than your manager, who else do you seek advice from musically? Because I was thinking, when you getting taught the piano, that your
Yeah,
piano teacher, that would hopefully you still have a good relationship with your piano teacher. I know it was ages ago, but
it's been a
if you
while,
still had a
man.
good, yeah, if you still had a good relationship,
Yeah,
at least you'll get you'll pick up some sort of information. You'll show, her, what you got going on. So who
yeah.
else musically do you seek advice from?
Well, basically, when I finish a track, when I'm at home finishing something, doing something, I basically send it to all my friends, and I'm like, "Yo, I got this new track," and I send it to my best friends, and they're like, and I see from their reaction, they're like always polite, but I see like either they say, "Yo, this is nice," or they say, "Damn, man, that's so great," and I see from their reaction if they're
So
feeling.
is it always a good reaction? Do they ever have some criticism like, ah, you know what, you should do this or something like that?
Yeah, sometimes they give me feedback and they're like, yeah, I like this, but I feel like it's not that they. I feel like it could go more in that direction, or maybe it's a little bit too much that or too much that. So I'm really grateful that they're honest about it, but most of the time they're happy with the music that I send them over.
How do you feel you're at musically right now? Like right now, how do you feel?
Right, like in which kind of sense do you mean?
Like, are you happy that you're at this point of releasing singles? The music sound good. You have a future. Everything is gonna turn out well.
Yes, totally, totally.
Why
Um,
is that?
I don't really know why it's that, but I always had like kind of a confidence that everything's gonna work out, and I didn't even know how, but everything would just work out. And really, the last 6 months, last year went crazy, and a lot of stuff happened. And yeah, I feel like there was a point where I was like, after I released my last singles, where I felt like, okay, maybe I'm running circles a little bit, and maybe I'm not really getting where I want to get right now, but I try to relieve myself from that and just let that go and stay optimistic and yeah, keep that confidence. Just no matter what happens, it's gonna work out, and just keep putting out good music, and then the right people are gonna hear it eventually.
What what is your favorite single? What's your favorite single that you released so far?
Feel like until that point, it's broken parts.
It is a great song. I
But
that is
but
my
it's but
favorite
it's a
song
really
that you.
tough question, to be honest, because to every song I have like a kind of special connection. And
Yeah.
Fallen is a very special song to me, just because it's very personal. Lost, I really loved the vibe. I really loved, yeah. I just kind of, I love all of the songs I'm putting out, kind of.
But it did seem like you were extremely happy when Fallen came out.
Yeah, I was.
Right?
Just,
It seemed like you were the most happy with that single than out of every one of your singles. Did you put the most time and effort into that one?
I think it is because it was like, I wrote the song like 1.5 years ago, and it was just really, it was laying on my computer for such a long time, and I produced it twice with different producers, and it just took a while, and it was such a personal song, and I waited a long time to release music again, so I was just really happy to share music again, and be there, be present, and show
For a
people what I do.
song that you love so much, it's crazy it was on your computer for close to 2 years.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, and I wish that won't happen anymore. But like from the upcoming EP, I think two more songs that are coming out. They're like 2 years old or something. So yeah, they have been laying on my computer so long, and
Y-
I've been, yeah, trying out so much stuff. But right now we actually finishing all that stuff, so that's such a great feeling and a big relief, kind of.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you still have any more songs on your computer that's about a couple years old?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think the next song that's coming out, I wrote that over 2 years ago, and then I produced it. Like I had it like just on my piano. I had the words in my head, so I produced it a year ago, like my demo, and then a few months ago I met up with the producer, and we just finished it. And yeah,
Yeah, so most of your songs, they pretty much you already have a sense of what's going on. You just need to finish it up.
yeah, that's the thing. And but right now the setup I'm working in a much more professional setup than I used to, because before it was just me in my room finishing
Hmm.
my demos, and now I actually work with people who are taking it to another level. And I'm super
Yeah.
grateful for that, because it just makes everything so faster and turns out better in the end. And
Yeah, because I'm thinking when you're in your room, don't you just wish like God, I wish I was in a more professional setting. My music would just sound way better, just clearer, sharper. Did you ever have that when you was working in your room, or you've kind of felt a little bit
yeah,
more comfortable because you're in your room?
yeah, it's kind of both, because I actually love writing music in my room, because it's like you can just be yourself and just write down what you want. You can like fully express yourself without anyone watching you. So that's very, I love that feeling, to be honest. But of course, I feel sometimes, okay, especially when you get used to working with better producers, better people, then your expectations also they rise. And when you
Mhm.
work on your computer here in your room and it doesn't sound as good as it could be, then you're easier. You're more likely to be demotivated by it. But actually, that's not the case very often. I'm just doing my thing here, and in the end, we eventually produce it, and then it will sound better anyways.
Are you more comfortable writing music in your room, like in the own setting, or in a studio with other people around you?
I think I'm more comfortable writing in my own room, but writing in the studio with other people can turn out amazing because you never know what's going to happen, and you're just you get pushed out of your comfort zone, and you write songs that you wouldn't have written on your own. So that's amazing.
Yeah, because I'm thinking with all those people, you're gonna share it throughout. When you're writing it throughout, when you're in your room, it's just you. Do you criticize your music a lot when you hear it back? Are you like, you know what, we gotta go back. I gotta change this. Like, is it always changing, always working on it?
Yeah, kind of like it's maybe a bad thing, but I think it's good that you're a perfectionist in some kind of sense. You just because sometimes I feel like okay, I did something great now, and then I'm like, okay, sick, we got something. But in general, before putting a song out, I'm very much listening to every detail. Okay, this could be better, or this word sounds a little bit not good enough, and this, yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. Well, listen, Claudio, it's great talking to you. Once again, listen to Claudio's new song Fallen on all streaming platforms. Follow Claudio on Instagram at Clyde's Official. And listen to my favorite song by him, Broken Parts, which is on all streaming platforms. Why is it called Broken Parts?
Broken part. It was just like I don't even know, man. We
Did
just
part of
had
you feel broken, or
like the broken
because that's
parts.
that's what I get from it. Like I kind of
Yeah,
feel like part of you is
it was
broken.
the broken parts where it was like was it destined to not work out, kind of, you know?
Hmm.
Was it like was it always there, or could I have changed it? You know, what if I told you I'm sorry? Could I have just told you I'm sorry and we would be good, or would it just maybe it wasn't
That
working out anyway?
That's
So
what I love. If I told you I was sorry, would you still wear my t-shirt every morning? That
yeah,
makes me cry. That is
yeah,
just like the best line I've heard from this song. I
oh,
love that
man.
line. That's my favorite out of all the songs that you put out. That is the line that just stands
Yeah,
out the most. Because going through a breakup is real hard, and just every little detail speaks volume when you're out of
yeah,
the relationship.
yeah. That's how I feel too. The
Yeah.
details are the ones that like you feel them, you know.
Did you ever like tear up while you're writing some of these songs? Like you just really reflect back, like you get emotional?
Yeah, I do sometimes, like because they really take you back there. They really take you back there. So if you hear a song for like 100 times and that you do that, if you produce it after a while, you kind of lose the sense.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when you hear them the first times, they still like hit you. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's raw the first time when you're writing
yeah,
everything down.
yeah. So yeah, I did actually. I did.
Is that your process? Do you write stuff down, or do you kind of have like this crazy memory of you're always remembering stuff?
It's like yeah, I do remember like I do remember the feelings I had back then. I do remember like there are situations that just like really hit you, and there are like some pictures that are like stuck in your head. But it's also sometimes a working process, just like digging deep enough to like get those lines because it's always easier to like stay on the surface. But I feel like if you like put in the work and like dig for a while to actually get there, then it's always worth it because it just yeah just had such a bigger impact in the end.
And I know you're working hard. You're always perfecting on your craft. You're always playing, and that's great that you
Appreciate
play
it.
the piano just out of boredom. That
Yeah, I
that shows
do.
that you just really love it.
Yeah, I do actually. I do. It's just like yeah, you just play because you enjoy doing music. You know, that's the you should never lose that.
Hmm. Well, Claudio, once again, thank you so much for
Yeah,
talking to me.
thanks so
Listen
much
to
for
his
having me,
song.
man.
Yeah, listen to his song Fallen. It's a great song. And listen to Broken Parts. That's my favorite song personally, but honestly, listen to his whole catalog. Great music. Claudio, I need to talk to you again soon when the
Yo, let's do
EP
it, man.
drops, when the album drops, and we need like a little bit of a refresher, a little bit of what's going on for the future too.
Yeah, man, totally, man. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
man, no
talking to you.
problem. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much. I'm gonna talk to you.